China Southern Airlines announced around a year ago that it would retire its Airbus A380 fleet, a decision that didn't necessarily come as a shock. However, in the past few days, we've seen the final 2 units head to the Californian desert. This is a sign of the times, and following in the footsteps of Malaysia Airlines, who also sent their last aircraft to long-term storage this week. However, they sent theirs to Europe, as they determined the best course of action for them. While already determined, it puts the nail in the coffin of China Southern's operations of the A380. They were the first in China to fly the widebody, and at its peak flew a total of 6 units. There are definitely several reasons why you could say China Southern decided to retire such a plane, and say stick with the other widebody aircraft currently at their disposal, and notably one of the biggest is the costs to operate the A380, which always remain high. While the widebody is ever popular with passengers, it only works in specific markets, and also with airlines operating particular business models that lean into the qualities of the world's largest passenger plane. For an airline like China Southern, while once flying, there were always problems present, and the reality is that smaller widebodies like the Boeing 787 and the Airbus A350 have quickly worked their way to the forefront of airlines' wish lists, and China Southern simply reaps better rewards by flying twin-engined widebodies over, say, quad-engined jets. The aviation market is also ever changing. Trends are adapting, and what is efficient now wasn't the same 20 years ago. For China Southern, continuing to fly the A380 in this climate would have been highly frowned upon. Harking back to the 787s, 777s, and Airbus A350s, these are all aircraft that can operate more efficiently on many routes previously served by the A380. However, on top of this, they do offer a degree of flexibility over what the A380 can provide them, with it generally being restricted to specific airports and routes. The pandemic also that we've battled through allowed airlines to reevaluate their fleet, whether they really wanted to or not. They had to determine what aircraft types were surplus to requirements in order to stay afloat. For China Southern, it became more than apparent that continuing with the world's largest passenger plane would have definitely had a negative impact on the business, which was already severely struggling due to the effects of the pandemic. Asia is one of the most demanding markets, and also has been a market that is still not truly recovered at the rates required for the airlines based there to see success, specifically in China. It means that having wide-body aircraft at this point can be an inconvenience for these airlines. One can then only imagine, therefore, just how impactful retaining a double-decker quad-engine plane would have been at this point. China Southern's removal of its final 2 Airbus A380s is definitely an end of an era, but also, I think we can agree, a logical step for the airline, and a decision made for the long term. While we do see some airlines bring the aircraft back to service, we've also seen other carriers remove the aircraft for good. It's a sign of the industry changing and also adjusting as airlines are forced to adapt to the current situation, as airlines are forced to adapt or be left behind and risk a complete collapse, which obviously is not the goal of any airline. What are your thoughts on China Southern sending their final 2 A380s to long-term storage? Do let me know down below in the comments. Please enjoy your holidays, and I will see you tomorrow for more aviation content.